The song begins, "We have a strong city. He sets up," that is the Lord, "salvation as walls and bulwarks." I mean, literally in the Hebrew it says there's a city of power to us. Salvation as walls and bulwarks. Now, maybe you're like me and you know kind of what bulwark means, but if someone were to ask you to give a definition for it, you wouldn't be able to give a definition for it. So I looked it up for us. A bulwark is an outer defense of the city wall. So typically, like if you were thinking of an ancient fortress or city, you'd have your first line of defense, your city walls, and then maybe there would be a second set of walls, maybe permanent, maybe temporary, like some wooden bulwarks you would set up as that kind of first defense as the enemy comes near the city. And so what the song is saying is we have this special, strong city. Now this is important. In the ancient world, you didn't really live inside the city walls per se. I mean, there was an agrarian society, so you'd have your farm and you'd have your land and you'd be harvesting. But in times of danger, what would you do? You'd drop everything with your family, you'd run up on the hill where you had your strong city, and all the surrounding villages would come to this city for defense. It would keep them safe from the invading army. And people here in the end times, they're singing the song and say, hey, good news, everybody. We've got a strong city to run to in times of trouble. But this city, these walls, these bulwarks, they're not made from some special rock. They don't have these cool holes in them so we can shoot our arrows out or dump Greek fire on the invading enemy. No, our walls are made of God's salvation. That's our bulwark. God's saving hand. In other words, where do the people of God run in times of trouble? Where do they find defense from the enemy? It's in God's salvation. See, their confidence is that God is the one who can deliver them from all their problems. The world today talks about security, financial security for the unpredictable future, building security against threats of terrorism and violence, security blankets to make people feel safe and snug. But for this group of believers, God is their security. He is their safe city that they run to, that they hide behind when the enemies are at the gates. And God welcomes them in. Verse 2, open the gates, that the righteous nation that keeps faith may enter in.